What's up, guys? This is Julio from Language Athlete. I hope you're rocking it like a boss and are ready to learn some stuff. Alright guys, so today we're gonna work again on pronunciation. Last week we worked on the letter R. Today we're gonna work on the sounds that are more explosive or more fricative in English. Fricative because of the friction. It will be easy to understand it as I go through it, so I'll just start. The first letter we're gonna check today is the letter C. In English, you say things like car or cut. If you think about it, there's a lot of air going out. In Spanish, we don't have that. We just say casa. Comer. We don't throw out so much air. And to be honest, the C is one of the letters that might be a little bit tough to control because naturally you have to have a little bit of friction to express it. Ga, ga. So what I recommend you to do is just kind of like save the air inside of you and just go casa, Carlos. Just open your palate, don't blow out of it. Ga, casa, Carlos, comer. After that, when you put the C with an H, in English you have the sound ch, in Spanish you have the same. For example, chimenea. But in English, sometimes you have the exception, like mechanic or chemistry. We do not have that exception. Second letter we're gonna check today is the letter D. Students tend to have the belief that the D in English is the same as the D in Spanish, but it's actually one of the letters that show the most that you are not a native speaker. The D in English has a very strong and explosive sound. I say do, don't, doubt. In Spanish, it's more like a TH in the word there. For example, in the word puedo. We don't say puedo, but puedo. Think about it as P-U-E-T-H-O. Puedo. There are other words where the sound is a little bit stronger, for example, in the beginning of a word or after an N, but even then, it's not as strong as it is in English. For example, donde. It's always more like between the teeth. Donde. Puedo. After that, we have the letter G. The letter G, when it comes to ga, go, and gu, is pretty similar in Spanish. I would probably tone it down a little bit, but it's pretty much the same. Ga, go, gu. When it changes though, is when you got the J for German or the J for giant, right? When you use it with an E or with an I. In Spanish, the sound is more of a lot of friction now actually, with the middle or back of your tongue and the palate. Try to pretend that you're like a cat. That looks weird. Try to pretend that you're like a sexy cat, and that is the sound you're looking for. He, he, gente, gitano. If you still have problems getting this sound, think about the letter Q. K. Now make a lot of Q's together, k, 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 and say it in one line. That is the sound of the letter C a lot of times. And then you put the E or the I after that. He, he. This might be a little bit weird in the beginning, but if you just work with it, I can assure you that it's gonna work. Now, sometimes in Spanish though, we do want that sound G with the letter E and I. So what we do is that we put a U between the G and the I, or the G and the E. And then the U becomes silent. And we say ge, gi, guerra, guisado. And to finish with the letter G, another particularity is that sometimes we do want the sound of the U. So what we do is that we put two little dots on top of the U. They are called diéresis. And then the U recovers the sound. So we say gue and we. For example, vergüenza, pingüino. After this, we continue with the letter J. Now, the letter J should be easy by now because it has the same sound that the G has with the E and the I, he, he, just for every other letter. Ja, he, ho, hu. That is why Spanish speakers laugh saying ha, ha, ha. When we look in English, like you guys say ha, ha, ha with the H, for us it's like you're going ah, 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 because the H in Spanish is mute. The letter K, of course, is also simple. It's just like the letter C with the A, ga, ke, ki, go, ku, kilómetro. We continue now with the letter P. The letter P has the same characteristic of the letter C. It has friction in English, right? So you say things like Pete, put. In Spanish, we don't have that friction. We don't say p, we just say p. So we say papá, Pedro, Pablo. We don't say p. So for us, it's very obvious if somebody says mi papá, voy al parque, because we don't say that. So what you say is mi papá, el parque. And the PH in Spanish, different to English, does not sound as an F, it's just a P. So if you have the word phone, which we would never have, but if by any chance you had it, we would sound pone. The letter Q is exactly like the K or the C. It has that non-frictional sound, so we go K, so we say queso or quiso, but there's two particularities about it. Number one, the letter U doesn't sound queso, quiso, and we only use it for an E and for an I. We never follow it with the letter A as you do in English with quantum. If we want to say something like física cuántica, we use the letter C. And to finish, we have the letter T. In English, the letter T has fricative sounds, t, So what we do is we take the sound away. Ta, te, ti, to, tu. It never sounds ta, te, ti, to, tu. So what you have to do is to take the friction or the air out of pretty much most of these letters that I just talked about. A little note is that the letter T never has that TH sound, whether it is that or think. It's always gonna be the. In a nutshell, guys, that's all that I have to say today about pronunciation. A bit of advice on how to study this, guys, would be, first of all, the vowels. You want to read a book, it doesn't matter the level of the book, you don't have to understand what you're saying, and just concentrate on the vowels, so you don't say like middle, like we always have a, e, I, o, u. So try just to read the vowels in the book. And then once you do that, you do another run, reading, of course, now every letter, but paying a lot of attention to the vowels. Then you do it again, but you pay a lot of attention to the consonants as well, like T, P, etc. And of course, a general rule of thumb is listen to music, read along with the song, and try to imitate the singer a lot, as if you're trying to get him annoyed. When you can sing a song along perfectly, you can pronounce probably better than before. You do it with another song, then with movies, etc. I hope that the video is useful for you guys. Let me know if there's anything you would like me to add in the following videos. Don't forget to study like an athlete and have a wonderful day.